If you have any questions, you can submit those now. Otherwise, I will call for a motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion by Plinkenhorn,
This is Bishop, I second.
support by Bishop. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, like sign. Thank you. Next on our agenda for tonight is approval of the February 12th meeting minutes. Again, trust you've had time to review those. If you have any other questions or comments to add to those, welcome to do so. Otherwise, I'll call for a motion to approve those minutes.
This is Member Bishop. Make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion from Bishop. Do we have support?
Fields, support.
Support from Fields. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Thank you. At this time, we will open up for citizen comments. If you would like to say anything, you can come right up to the microphone. Please state your name, your full address, and time is limited to 3 minutes. Seeing no one move quickly to the stand, we will move forward. Next item on our agenda is the summary presentation on the site plan on the homestead at Centennial. Mr. Mallory, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman Schenkel, and members of the Planning Commission. Appreciate patience with me as I'm remoting in from the state of Florida tonight. But we have our final presentation of the site plan review for the homestead neighborhood development. We're going to have Kyle Mucha come up and speak reference McKenna's review. So this board is aware the entire packet has been reviewed by Catherine Kaufman and her team at the law office. Seth is in the room tonight if there are questions from board members, but Catherine is recommending approval and that it meets all of the stipulated items. And as well, Mike Schwartz, our engineer, has reviewed the plans. There was one item today. It was a typo type situation on the materials made in the roadway. Credit goes to John Lovely and his team. They responded right away and acknowledged that the roads would be constructed to the village's specifications, and that the process for us accepting those as public roadways, we have now on the same page how that will take place. So if there's questions, reference any legal questions. I do appreciate Seth being in attendance in person, and we'll be happy to answer at the appropriate time, but I'll turn it over now to Kyle, who McKenna has prepared the memo, and then we'll come back to me for the staff recommendations and open it up for the Planning Commission. So Kyle, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mallory. We are here tonight seeking review approval for the homestead at Centennial through Alan Edwin. As the Planning Commission may recall, in December 11th, 2023, the preliminary site plan or sketch plan approval was provided to Alan Edwins to construct approximately 116 single-family residential site condominium units. There were conditions imposed on that sketch plan, number one being lots 10, 13, and 14 meet the minimum frontage requirements of 50 feet. We found in our recent review that has been satisfied. Second condition was common open space, which is accessible to the maximum number of units, is added to the sketch plan. This could further reduce number of lots. We found that this condition has been satisfied as well. Number three, the stormwater basins are removed from the open space calculations. The applicant has done that at our request. And then number four, any other conditions provided by or stipulations as by the township or village engineer, those have been addressed and are being worked through during the background engineering analysis. As we discussed back in December, the use of the property is zoned R3, which is single and two-family residential. What Allen Edwin is proposing, or the applicant in essence, does meet the ordinance intent for that use of the property. And then throughout the zoning ordinance, there is provisions for planned residential developments. So within your packet that we have prepared, there are standards that must be met. We have gone through these standards and provided a response and find that these standards have been met for site plan review and approval. Further, we find that the sketch plan and site plan align to what was proposed back in December. So McKenna is recommending that the Planning Commission approve the applicant Green Development Ventures LLC site plan approval for 116 single-family units on approximately 35 acres of land located along South 22nd Street with the following considerations or conditions that can be reviewed and approved administratively. Number one, the proposed roadways in this network are accepted by the village as public streets. Number two, the master deed is reviewed by village legal counsel to assure compliance with Public Act 59 of 1978. And then three, or C, all review comments provided by other agencies such as the village engineer are met where applicable. So again, we are recommending approval based on those conditions as well. Mr. Mallory, is there anything I'm forgetting you'd like me to touch further on, sir?
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. We are, again, this, obviously, the past, probably 3 or 4 months, maybe even longer, we've worked well, and I definitely wanted to express publicly my appreciation and the team's appreciation for the professionalism and response by Allen Edwin's team, specifically John Lovely. Any type of question, clarification that was needed, he was immediately on top of it, and the team received those responses. And quite often, John was very, very proactive in that. So thank you. Again, it has met all the engineering, zoning, planning, and the legal review. And I'm proud to announce tonight it is staff's recommendation to the Planning Commission to have a motion and support and have a roll call vote on the site plan as presented with the notations from McKenna and the acknowledgement of the roads constructed to the village specifications. So, and after a motion and support, we'd be happy. I will be happy to coordinate any questioning that Planning Commission members might have, Mr. Schenkel, and point out. I'll assign it either to myself or the appropriate staff person in the room.
Sounds good. Yeah, so with that, we can move to the next item on our agenda for the evening, item 7, our action items, which is the site plan review. We all have, well, we don't all have copies, but we have enough copies in front of us to review that. Any questions for the village manager on this first action item of the evening?
A question, this is Member Wertella. We are approving this, or we're recommending approval to the village council?
No, this will be approval tonight.
If there are no other questions, can entertain a motion to regarding this action item.
This is Member Wertella. I move that the Homestead at Centennial site plan as presented to the Vicksburg Planning Commission at tonight's meeting be approved.
We have a motion from Wertella. Do we have support for that motion?
Support from Plankenhorn.
So support from Plankenhorn. Any further questions or comments on the site plan review for village staff? Hearing none, Mr. Wines, will you do a roll call vote for us, please?
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member DeBalt,
Yes.
Board Member Wertella,
Yes.
Board Member Riashi,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Thank you very much, and I wasn't sure if, I think John Lovely's in the room, if he had any comments or not, certainly give him an opportunity, but certainly appreciate the board's oversight and direction within this entire process. And again, I appreciate my entire staff, Kyle, Mucha, Catherine Kaufman, Seth for being there tonight. It really, juggling a lot helps out with everything, so thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is John Lovely, Green Development Ventures LLC, Allen Edwin Homes. I just wanted to thank you all tonight for your vote, and I also want to thank Jim and all the staff for working with us. There's been a handful of months that we've been working on this, and it's been a pleasure working with y'all. We're very excited to get this one, get the ground broke on it, probably this spring or summer, and get moving on it. So thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it. We certainly understand after the approval, with all the busy hours you guys put in, if it's exit the room, including Seth, certainly stay for the whole meeting, your choice. But with Chairman Schenkel's permission, I'll move on to, it's not an action item, but just a discussion on the text amendments, reference car wash, if that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, certainly, I believe it's good news. Not so much going into great detail, but spent considerable time in preparation with a developer, reference a 2-bay automatic car wash with a site identified in the village of Vicksburg limits. In this review, it, I'll say didn't come as a great surprise, but the definition of car wash was not listed in the ordinances of the village of Vicksburg. So what part of this process is, car wash is the definition for which are in comparable communities, and I asked McKenna to give us a review on that in C2 zoning. So I wanted to give a heads up to the Planning Commission, and we'll provide a hard copy of a memo, reference these text amendments that will be in front of you at the next meeting. I'll be reaching out individually to the members of the Planning Commission here in the next 7 to 10 days to give you some background information, but as well, we're going to have this published in time to be able to present at a public hearing, much in similar manner to what we did on the industrial tax amendments to improve our ordinances. So this is kind of just a heads up notice, but behind this there is certain motivation because we anticipate being able to present a site plan again on a 2-bay automatic car wash here in the next 2 to 3 months. So looking forward to that.
Great, thank you. Item number 8 on our list is Downtown Development Authority, and we have a few action items on here regarding public improvement grant. And Mr. Mallory.
Yeah, this is again exciting I feel for a village our size to have an opportunity. Quick review of the history behind this. Village of Vicksburg, for many years we've offered limited facade grants that maximized out at $2,500. We've offered grant money for new painting projects, etc. About 3 years ago, through the DDA board and discussions with staff, we started to look at opportunities and ways that we could incentivize business and building owners to invest additional larger amounts of money and see if that we could help with that. We had an extensive legal review back 3 years ago, and we're able to come up with a formal public benefit grant program. And happy tonight that each of these grants, again, for memory purposes, Part of the process is the chairperson of the Planning Commission, one of the 3 subcommittee members of the DDA, as well as the village president, village attorney, and myself, review the application and then make recommendations here tonight for approval and your recommendation, and then we will take them to the council next Monday night for final budget approval. But we are happy as well in this process, and I'm talking fiscal year process 23-24. If you remember, we have already approved some 23-24 fiscal year money for a project at Apple Knockers in the amount of $15,000 that was approved previously at planning or a DDA meeting as well as the council meeting, and we moved forward. I was a little bit slow in getting the grant information out to all businesses. I didn't feel with the Christmas in the Burg that I had done as well as I could have. So we last month announced through this board that we would energize and get the word out that we're accepting grants, and certainly have 5 additional recommendations for investment into our DDA area. One, to highlight, I think Chairman Schenkel will take these one at a time with a roll call vote on each individual one. We've already had contact with a couple members of the board who will have to abstain during their individual as they're affiliated with a business that is on the list. So with your permission, we'll start with Gilbert and Ivy.
So, Jim, how do you propose we handle do we need a motion for each one of these individually, or how?
Yes, I'll give a quick summary, and then we would need a member's motion. I'll give a summary and then the recommendation from what I'll call the review committee, and then we would request a member to make a motion, get the support, and have the clerk call a roll call on each one individually.
Thank you.
On Gilbert and Ivy, as we all know, a bookstore just moved into the building on Main Street, 100 South Main. And really, this is such a positive thing for the village of Vicksburg to get a retail store such as Gilbert and Ivy on Main Street with additional space. It takes the spot of an accountant's office, so we're moving more office space into retail space, which long-term will have a positive impact on bringing people downtown. Total investment was about $26,000. The committee is recommending approval of $7,000 for this project, which improved the accessibility for individuals, reference bathroom, also with some of the ADA requirements of handrails, etc., improvement to electrical conditions, exit signage, as well as an exterior historical replica sign that will be affixed to the building. Again, it's just over a $26,000 project, and the recommendation from the subcommittee is for $7,000. And be happy to entertain a motion and support, and then have conversation if the board desires.
Yep. So before you is Gilbert and Ivy. We have a call for a motion on this.
Member Riashi, motion to support.
Motion by Riashi,
This is Member Bishop, my second.
support by Bishop. Any further discussion, questions for staff? All right. Mr. Wines, get your voice tuned up. We're going to have lots of roll calls.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Board Member DeBalt,
Yes.
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member Ryashi,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Next up is R&R Weddings and Events. Their total project investment is just shy of $22,000. The subcommittee is recommending an approval of $7,500. What this is LED signage that will be out front. It's off the easement of the village in a location. Signs similar to the one that's in front of the historic depot and village hall. It will enhance the gateway into the village as well as provide the business with specific welcoming messaging for people who are renting and taking advantage of the event space that they have. And we have done this in the past at the original Apple Knockers building. They also had an LED signage that the DDA assisted in investing with. So again, it's a total investment of $21,899 with a recommendation of a grant award of $7,500 for R&R Weddings and Events.
All right. Do we have a motion for R&R Weddings and Events?
Member Wortella, I move to approve the public improvement grant for Gilbert Knight in the amount of $7,500. R&R wedding and events in the amount of $7,500.
Motion from Wortella,
Support from Blankenhorn?
support from Plankenhorn. Any further discussion? Mr. Wines?
Board Member DeBalt,
Yes.
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Ryashi,
Yes.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Next on the list is Classic Mortgage, owned by Randy and Amy Miller. They have this is kind of phase 2 of a project at Classic Mortgage. They also have a food catering business of which they're looking to establish an outdoor eatery. We assisted in the cement patio last year, and in phase 2, this would be the covering of that and getting it suitable for walk-up and take-out food items. It also enhances the area around the observation deck of Clark Park and also the gateway of the village. It's just over a $35,000 project, and the subcommittee is recommending an approval of $7,500 for the project. And again, this is for Classic Mortgage location at 104 South Michigan.
All right. We have Classic Mortgage in front of us for a motion.
Member DeBalt, recommend that we do the Classic Mortgage grant proposal of $7,500.
Motion by DeBalt,
Member Fields, I support.
support from Fields. Any further discussion for staff? Mr. Wines?
Board Member Ryashi,
Support.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member DeBalt,
Yes.
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Very nice. Number 4 on the list is Rise and Dine. Therefore, Member DeBalt will abstain from this vote. However, he can make comments. This is the front facade of Rise and Dine at 121 South Main Street. Remove the existing siding fascia and replace with a new hardboard, lap siding, and trim board, giving the front facade a new look. And again, Member DeBall, if he wants to go into more detail, certainly can. The estimated project is just over $15,103.54. The request or the recommendation from the committee is an approval in the amount of $7,500 for this project. Again, it's the entire front facade with a new look right on Main Street, and we certainly support that. So this is the Rise and Dine at 121 South Main Street.
All right, we have Rise and Dine in front of us. We'll entertain a motion on Rise and Dine.
Member Rotella, I move that the DDA Public Improvement Grant of $7,500 be approved for Rise and Dine.
Motion from Wartella. Support from Riashi. Any further discussion? Mr. Wines?
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Board Member DeBolt,
Abstain?
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member Riashi,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
The next is the grant application from 117 East Prairie, the offices of the Hideaway, in which Board Member Plankenhorn will abstain, but again can make any comments or answer questions. This is what was formerly an office area, of which is going to be converted into leasable space. The total estimated project is $9,366, and it is going to install 2 new entrances to the 117 East Prairie in order to create rental space for potential new business on town or in town, as well as a commercial window. So a pretty substantial improvement to the front facade facing Prairie Street, accompanied with the hopes and aspirations that we get an additional business on Prairie Street. So very positive. And the recommendation from the committee is an approval in the amount of $3,750.
All right, we have Hideaway office in front of us. I'll entertain a motion.
This is Member Bishop. I'd like to make a motion for the DDA to grant the Hideaway office renovation project $3,750.
We have a motion from Member Bishop. Do we have support?
Member Fields, I support.
Support from Fields. Any further discussion? Mr. Wines?
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Riashi,
Yes.
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member DeBolt,
Yes.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Abstain.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Fantastic. The last address is 402 West Prairie Street. It's a very encouraging project. This board is aware of it, as the last meeting you approved a site plan. At this time, the committee is not recommending a grant. I did speak to the owner and developer today, and it's a considerable investment in the neighborhood of $900,000 with an anticipated fully open date in 2026. I explained how these funds were kind of directed at the fiscal year we're currently in, as well as making an immediate impact with the different projects. And also I will be looking and meeting with the developer to see potentially if our brownfield funds and availability in that area might make this project more suitable. So certainly supportive of the developer's desire to have that for 402 West Prairie usable, and it'll be a great project once we ribbon cut on it. So there is not a recommendation from the board, but we certainly wanted you to know the application was presented. Since the application has been turned in, Mr. Schenkel, I would ask simply for the motion to be that the funds would not be granted, but we will make notes in the minute, reference myself and staff trying to work with the developer to find other funding that might be out there as this project is positive, we feel. But still would need a motion, support, and then a roll call vote that we would not be expending funds on the application out of this grant process.
Okay. All right, we have in front of us 402 West Prairie and a language summary from staff. Who would like to make a motion on this grant?
This is Member Bishop. I would like to make a motion that we do not approve the DDA grant funds to 402 West Prairie Street.
We have a motion from Member Bishop. Do we have support?
Member Fields, I support.
Support from Fields. Any further discussion for this body or for staff on this grant application? Mr. Wines.
Board Member DeBalt,
Yes?
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Board Member Riashi,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to highlight for the board and the public, that's a total of $48,000 worth of local money. I also would be remiss if I didn't highlight the Vicksburg Foundation, who approved a grant the village wrote to participate in this program, and so we thank them. But I think it's very unique, a community our size. Total investment by 6 different developers in excess of $150,000 worth of improvements to our core DDA district, with the DDA supporting those in the tune of just north of $48,000. So I think it's fair. I thank the board for the approval. I'm sure as we'll present each to the council, and upon receiving their approval, we'll make notifications to the business owners. And part of the grant requirements are that these projects are completed before December 31st, 2024. And with your permission, I'll move to 8B.
Yes.
I think this is a budget amendment. They were such good projects that came in these grant. I felt that it warranted not, when we got down to not splitting some of the money up or diluting what the DDA could present. We have a sufficient unrestricted reserve fund in the DDA money. So this budget amendment just approves adding an additional $8,000 into the public benefit grant program. It will come from the unrestricted reserve balance of the DDA. It'll be 248 DDA money that's added to this, and the total amount of dollars will be reported in third quarter budget amendments, but on round numbers is about $28,000 of DDA money, and the balance being carried forward money out of the foundation grants and the grant itself. So we're asking for the DDA to approve this amendment so we make the appropriate budget change.
All right, we have a budget amendment ask in front of us. Do we have a motion for this?
This is DeBalt. I make a motion that we approve adding an additional $8,000 from the unrestricted fund balance to the public benefit grant program.
We have a motion from DeBalt. Do we have support for that motion?
Member Plankenhorn, I support.
Support from Plankenhorn. Any further discussion or questions for staff? Mr. Wines.
Board Member Plankenhorn,
Yes.
Board Member Fields,
Yes.
Board Member Wortella,
Yes.
Board Member DeBolt,
Yes.
Board Member Riyashi,
Yes.
Board Member Bishop,
Yes.
Chairman Schenkel.
Yes. All right, on to item number 9, the village manager report.
Yeah, just two short items, reminding everyone that we are going to have a birthday celebration for the village. It will occur May 18th. That's a Saturday, May 18th, 2024. Be starting at noon. We will have live music. I think that live music starts around the 2:30-ish. We'll be putting out a finalized agenda, and it'll have an opening band as well as a headlining band. And we'll have cultural arts involved, and there'll be other aspects. A lot more information will be presented at the meetings in April, as well as having our page like we do for Christmas in the Berg and Berg Days of Summer up on the website and that. So we're looking forward to the birthday celebration on May 18th. We also have Berg Days of Summer 2024. We will be presenting the 24-25, this aspect here in April to the DDA, as after July 1st, our staff will recommend some utilization of DDA funds to continue that. But we will start on June 12th, and they'll run for 9 Wednesdays throughout the summer. Again, these events are to draw people into our downtown and become regular customers of the great retail, food, and Oswald Park, everything to just get exposed to the village of Vicksburg and continue us in a positive direction. So be happy to answer any questions. Again, I thank the board for their patience. Was time for the Mallorys to take a little bit of a vacation, but being able to remote in tonight, so thank you.
Yep, thank you, Mr. Mallory. And we'll go on to member comments. Now is this time for any member to share any comments they would like.
This is Member Wertella. I really appreciate and enjoyed the Berg Days of Summer. I'm glad we're going forward with that, and I think it really shows off the advantages and potential for our hometown, the village of Vicksburg.
This is Member Fields. It is very exciting to sit here and see all of these local businesses that are obviously thriving in our community, and with that are continuing to invest in our community. And I can't wait to see all of the improvements that are coming. It's very exciting.
I would second those comments. I was on the DDA not too long ago when we were not getting a lot of traction with this program, and to see the number of applicants come through and the number of dollars going out is very, very exciting. So I think this is a great springboard for the future, and look forward to continued investment in a village our size is really, really encouraging. So look forward to seeing that program continue to grow and thrive. Thank you, Mr. Mallory, for continuing to do your work from the Sunshine State, and we appreciate everything that you do. And I will adjourn this meeting at 7:41. Thank you, everyone.